she's brilliant. You can hire someone to do that?
So the big question is, what are top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate, grow their teams and add more transactions year over year while so many struggle? To get the answers, we interview top real estate agents to learn their secrets to success. Listen, we believe every agent should make a minimum of $100,000 per year, and we're on a mission to make this happen. We've already helped over 100 agents achieve this with our coaching. So if you want to fast track your business growth, get to your first $100,000 in GCI or add another $100,000 in GCI using social strategies, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com, or you can just click the link in the description below. Also, just make sure to follow us, hit that subscribe button, and if you get any value from this at all, please tell a friend and leave us a review. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
Speaking of life, wife, family, rolls us nicely into your third and final topic here, which is ultimately you've built a fucking big real estate business and team, all whilst being a full-time mum and being a wife and doing all that stuff. So Peter's, just had his second daughter. This balancing act is a tough one, and I know a lot of people are going through it. If anything, it's quite a common thing for people with children to get into real estate for the flexibility of it. How have you managed to balance growing at such a rapid rate? Even in your first 6 months, you did 15 deals. Like, that's no fucking joke. Like, that's no joke. Even just doing 15, like, that's hard, especially as you had children then, right, as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were little too. They were 3 and 9. And so y'all just saw Megan come in holding her baby, right? She's 4 months old. Yeah. So we have team baby. Whoop, whoop. That's Zaylee. So I try to be very flexible with my agents too. Like, if you need to bring your kid, as long as it's not call night and they're not going to be like, hey, mommy, hey, Aunt Ryan, like, I'm cool. Just don't interrupt the calls because we got stuff to do. You can bring your kids, sit them in the corner. We'll give them pizza, whatever. But for me, early on, my kids just got really comfortable with rolling with me. Right. And so, like, I think Maddie, she'll be 11 next month. She's probably been on more listing appointments than the top producer in the office next door to you guys. Like, she just goes, she knows the deal. She'll bring him the binder. Here, this is everything mommy's going to do for you. Can I go play on your swing set? Like, she's totally chill. And it's a good icebreaker too. But you have to gauge your audience, right? You're going to know if you're going into a house where it's like, don't bring your kid. Or if it's someone that's like, hey, my kids are going to be home, then you just say, oh, great. Would you mind if I bring mine? And then she can play with them and keep them occupied while we talk. And then sometimes that really works because my kids are usually a little bit older than the stay-at-home moms with the little babies. So my kids just rolled with me. I started Maddie and Mother's Day out 2 days a week, and I worked on Tuesday and Thursday. So while she was at Mother's Day out from 10 to 2, I worked. As much as I could get in, as many appointments as I could fit in from 10 to 2, that was great. And I found one that was across the street from my office. I'd walk over, pick her up, bring her back. It was great. And now I will say the biggest struggle for us as a family was all the housework, because I stayed home for years before I did this. And so, like, there's a lot of stuff that running a family of 4 requires. Like, people need to eat, people need clean clothes, the floor needs swept, like, all of that kind of stuff still has to happen, even though mommy's building a business, right? The kids still need cared for. They still need to know you love them. They still need to know that they're your number one priority. And so the same is with your team and finding out what matters to them. You have to do that with your kids and with your spouse. And the best way to do that is ask them, what do you need from me this week? How can I serve you this week? How can I love you better this week? And we just talk about it. And so that's kind of how it's all grown. My husband, you guys, he is a badass, right? He's Jack, like we talked about, he's Jack Ryan during the day. He gets off at 5 p.m. He's cooking dinner. He's doing laundry. He's picking up all my slack, right? Like, down to like, hey, Nana needs this. And so he'll take whatever Nana needs to the nursing home. Like, he's phenomenal, but it wasn't instant. It took us a while to get there. And it took a lot of hard conversations from when we were transitioning from Ryan does everything because she stays home to Ryan's going to be at the office until she's done tonight. And when she comes home, don't make her cook dinner because she's going to be real pissy. So we've had to have a lot of work over the years to get there. But the best way to do it is to just have real authentic communication. And when you come from a place of love and you're just like, hey, I love you. I want our house to be the best it can. I want our kids to be taken care of the best they can. And I don't have the ability, then you can work through it. And don't be afraid to hire somebody, right? Like if you don't want to clean your house, get someone to clean your house. We've had Avelia for 5 years. That woman, I've proposed marriage to her. I'm like, can you just move in? Will you please come just live in my home? I love you so much. Yesterday was Avelia Day, which means today's the best day ever because my house is clean. So leverage that out. Get Instacart. Go on your app and click all the buttons and have it delivered to your house right about the time you get home. And there's your groceries for the week. Like figure out your leverage points. And like my coach always says, if you can throw money at it to fix it and you have the money, do it. And then you have more time with your family and you're able to go do stuff. And so I remember I was at a Brian Buffini conference 3 years ago and I heard this agent, Julie Woods. She's actually from Longview. She's my girl. We have coffee about once every 6 months. She said, I decided I don't want to do that anymore. And I make enough money to pay somebody to do it. So I don't do it. And I heard her say that and I was like, holy shit, she's brilliant. You can hire someone to do that? And it was like, put her groceries away or something. And I'm like, that's amazing. So there's always leverage points that you can use for your family so that you're not exhausted. It's helpful.
So one of the questions, obviously, I'm in the figuring it out process, right? I'm in the part where it's like we're having those hard conversations. For somebody who is in the midst of having those hard conversations, what would you tell them, like how to balance, how to figure that, out? Because I'm used to, being home, working from home, just closing my office, doing my thing, but being flexible. Now that I'm out with my clients, everyone wants to see houses after 5 p.m. I'm supposed to have, daddy-daughter time between 6 and 7, but there's times where I got to get in the car at 4 and I'm not back until they go to sleep. So I'm trying to balance that. I'm trying to put those, like those barriers or those expectations in place, right? But at the same time, I'm still in the building, developing phase and growing my business phase. So I don't believe I have the luxury of just being like, no, not going to take you out, show you houses because it's going to be on the market tomorrow. Because hell no, it's not going to be on the market tomorrow. So I got to strike when the iron's hot. So what kind of advice can you give somebody on how to have those conversations easier, how to set those expectations easier, how to compromise better, or how can you be proactive in them now that you've been there and you're looking back?
I may not have the best advice because I love to do deals. And so there have been a lot of times in my life where I've just gone and been like, screw it, I'm going, I'll catch you guys in a minute and I'll go show the house. And so being super vulnerable, right? Like I missed out on some stuff with the kids and I did. And that sucks. But at the same time, like I think that they get it. And I think that when I am with them, it's very good quality time. And I try to not be like, on my phone and stuff. But so I guess my answer of what I do now, right? Because I do it a lot better now, is I set an opportunity window for my clients. And I say, I can get you today at 3 or tomorrow at 10. Which one's better for you? And I give them 2 options and they feel taken care of. And they say, okay, well, I actually can't do either one of those times. What about this time? And if I can move some stuff around and shift it to make it work, I will. And sometimes the things that I end up shifting around are my own, right? Like I was trying, like these eyebrows just got done a couple days ago, but I was trying to fit them in for like 3 months. So like I had them on the appointment and I'd move it. And poor Delaney that does my eyebrows, she's like, oh my God. And so literally on Tuesday, it said eyebrows, do not cancel again. It'll be the 3rd time. And I was 20 minutes late to my eyebrow appointment. And she was like, what the heck, Ryan? Like, come on. I'm like, I'm sorry. But she waited. So you just have to set those parameters and decide what's worth it, right? Like if it's something that this is going to be a huge referral client for you, sometimes you might just have to go. But if it's someone who's not pre-qualified, who isn't ready to write that day, who's just kicking tires, then absolutely not. Or you leverage it out and you find someone that you trust or buy a showing agent or whatever. And you say, hey, I have family time tonight. this guy needs the door opened. If I pay you $20, will you go open the door and I'll take him back over? And 9 times out of 10, they will, right? So like we have one guy on our team who's single. He doesn't have any kids. So he's happy to go do that kind of stuff for us in the evenings because he doesn't have anything to do. So yeah, it's helpful. So yeah, I don't know. Was that helpful? I feel like I told you to step it up and deal with
it. The thing is, we love that. This is why we love doing this show. It's the rawness, the realness of like, this is the shit that, everyone's going through. Peter's going through stuff right now, or we're going through stuff right now as a team. You've gone through stuff. You're going through different stuff. And the idea of this whole show, everyone listening, is to be like, one, you're not alone. We're all going through shit. We're trying to figure it out. No one's perfect. And every situation does have its own unique elements. And two, it's like, there is always a path forward. And 3, if you ain't making $100,000 a year, you have no fucking excuse if you're listening to this show. There is way more than enough great advice on here from amazing realtors on how to do it. Now, speaking of which, Ryan, we're going to wrap up. So I want to give you the floor. Someone wants to reach out, whether it's buying or selling a home, whether they want to learn more about your team. I know you mentioned you do a bit of coaching, a bit of other stuff going on. Like, how can they reach out, whether it's phone, email, website, socials? Tell the people where you're at.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm getting full up on my friends list on Facebook. I actually need to go through and cull a little bit before family reunion. So if you want to add me as a friend on Facebook, it's just Ryan Major, hot pink blazer. You'll know it's me. And then the Facebook page for the team is Ryan Major Realtor. So facebook.com/Ryan Major Realtor, because I've had it forever. Instagram is the Major Team at KW. And then our phone number is 903-307-2884. And then my personal email address is ryan.major@kw. I don't mind putting it out there. If I gave you the team email, it may not get to me. So I want to make sure you guys can get me if you need me. We are excited to get to meet some of y'all's listeners. I have listened to several, and I was ready for all of the swearing, and it made me very happy. So just know that I like it.
Love it. Ryan, thank you for coming on the show, sharing your secrets. Everyone, thank you for listening, and we will see you in the next one. Oh, and by the way, if you're interested in gaining access to our course and coaching programs 100% for free, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com.